Welcome back, guys and girls, to the Barry Charles Footy Show. Yes, indeed, we're here again to talk about footy, the greatest game of all. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the greatest of the greatest grand finalists. Who were the best players on the field when it mattered in the big games? Now, one people would argue that the title of Thurston got that the best player on the field was Anthony Milford, and just because he got the field goal at the end, he ended up getting it. But to be fair, Milford was the best player on the field. But hey, that is the breaks for Anthony Milford. But anyway, getting to the 17. Now, I'm just going to, again, the Clive Churchill medalists, very good players in this lot. A few surprises, but this one, compared to the Dally M medalist, there actually was a few forwards that had won it, so it made it easier to make this team. But still, pretty much the back line still winning most of these. But fullback, no doubt about it, one of the best, Billy Slater. Yes, Billy the Kid. Yes, the Clive Churchill medalist. Very good player, Billy Slater. The wings here, Darius Boyd and Ryan Pappenhausen. And a lot of people forget about Ryan Pappenhausen as well. If he can stay on the field, he's another one that could be a superstar. Him and Tommy Tavorovich, both of them, they're the ones at the moment. But other players are Latrell Mitchell, these are the ones, and Nathan Cleary. These are the four players that are pushing, but they need to stay on the field. Obviously, Nathan Cleary's pretty good, but the other ones have been injury prone, and they're wanting to be Dally M medalists. So that's what all those three are pushing for, to try and make the grand final. Centre pairing, Greg Inglis and Jack Whiten. Obviously, Jack Whiten was outstanding for the Raiders in the game they lost, but that's the way that, unfortunately for him, Greg Inglis, well, he was gun. He won it back with the Melbourne Storm, so Greg Inglis, very good player. Halves pairing, well, this seems to be becoming a bit of a regular occurrence in a lot of these teams. Jonathan Thurston and Cooper Cronk, no doubt about it, they're very strong. The forward pack, good old Brinkott, he was a very good player, Brinkott for Manly, very good. Just no nonsense football, just straight up the middle, boom. Very consistent. A lot of players like him, but he was very good. Sam Burgess, obviously the other prop pairing, could have played somewhere else as well, but we managed to sneak the teams around to make it fit. Sean Berrigan, a lot of people forgot that Sean Berrigan won a Dally M. He was very good for the Broncos when they won their big game a long time ago now. But Sean Berrigan, very underrated player, very solid, and was probably before the time, modern day 14, really. He played a lot of positions for his clubs. Now the second row, Willie Mason and Luke Lewis. Yes, the very good players for their times. Good old Willie Mason for the Bulldogs and Luke Lewis for both teams, but Luke Lewis got his medal for the Sharkies. Yes, the Sharkies. Glenn Stewart. Yes, Glenn Stewart. Probably should have played about 10 more tests, old Glenn Stewart, but he never did. So looking at the bench, who made the bench? Nathan Cleary at this stage, but he could be number 7 if we're talking another 10 years' time. Luke Keary, Scott Prince, and Dylan Edwards make up the 17. So let's have a look at a few things here. The byproducts of doing this list, I want to be interested in to see what the list told us. The list told us that only 5 Queenslanders made this team. Only 5. When you compare it to the New South Wales, which, looking at the New South Wales list here, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7. And then a few also rans that haven't played for either New South Wales or Queensland. So it was pretty much one of these things that New South Wales actually have the better Clive Churchill medalist, which was a shock to me. But absolutely good players in the squad. What would the future hold here? Yes, obviously Jared Hayne was very good in his finals campaign, but they couldn't deliver when it mattered. So Jared Hayne didn't get his medal in this final game. Now, who was the best player? Now, that's going to be a debate. Who would you argue was the best player in these grand finals? Well, there were some very good. Obviously, people remember Jonathan Thurston for getting the field goal to win the grand final. Brent Kite just led the way in his grand final. In most recent memory, Sam Burgess played with that injury and was so tough. Dylan Edwards just delivered a masterclass at fullback. Scott Prince, some people would argue Benji Marshall should have got it, but Scott Prince delivered, just lead the ship around. Nathan Cleary did his job. Jack Whiten was very good. But to me, I had, if I was going to have to pick one performance out of the lot that I thought was the best performance of the Clive Churchill medalist of all time, to me was Luke Cleary. Luke Cleary played the game of his life, absolute game of his life, when Cooper Cronk was injured. I don't even know how Cooper Cronk played the game, to be honest, because he was basically out. But he played, and for some reason, the Storm didn't go their way to try and beat him. But Luke Cleary was instrumental in every single try they scored. He was an absolute king in this grand final. And to me, Luke Cleary's performance is one of the best ever in the grand final. Absolutely just was superlative. His kicking game, did all the kicking game. He led them around. He was absolutely in everything. And he hasn't quite reached that height since Cooper Cronk has left. And it just shows you how good a player Cooper Cronk was. Once he's gone missing, Luke Cleary's gone missing. And we want the best of Luke Cleary. Obviously, Luke Cleary's had some head knocks as well. That hasn't helped his cause as well. So that's probably been a little unfair to him. But he hasn't reached the heights that he used to have. And it's probably because he's a 6, not a 7. And they need Sam Walker to deliver more. But yeah, in terms of the Clive Churchill medalists, yes, that was very good. Greg Inglis, obviously a gun player, so he's very good as well. Pappenhausen had a very good game in the grand final as well. So they're very good players on this list who have won the Clive Churchill medalist. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe and smash the like button. Rugby league is all around the world, and we want it to be even bigger and greater. We need to get into the US and make that market. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again in the next one. Like and subscribe to the channel. Barry Charles.